The knock beneath the floorboards. Elaine never believed in curses or haunted houses or any of the things she'd seen in horror movies growing up. She worked in data entry, loved crossword puzzles, and had a senior rescue dog named Benny, who didn't have teeth anymore. When she bought the house on Willow Creek Road, it wasn't because it was charming or lovely. It was because it was cheap. And she was tired of paying rent to share a wall with someone who played bass at 3 a.m. The house was set back from the road, swallowed by woods that pressed close and black at night. It was the kind of place where cell service disappeared the moment you turned onto the gravel driveway. The air always smelled like wet bark and mildew. Locals called it the Tiller House. But when she asked around at the gas station at the diner, no one gave her a straight answer as to why. The first 2 days passed without incident. She unpacked, she painted the bathroom, and she let Benny roam the overgrown yard while she read books on the porch. It wasn't until the third night, as rain tapped against her windows and wind whispered through the trees, that she heard it. Knock. A pause. Knock. Another pause. Knock. She sat up in bed, frozen. It wasn't the front door. It wasn't the wind. The sound had come from beneath her, from the floorboards. Benny, curled at the foot of the bed, let out a low growl. His hackles raised, though he didn't bark, just stared at the wood like it might split open. Elaine waited, her breath caught in her throat. She thought maybe it was a pipe, or a branch under the house, or even just her imagination. But nothing else happened, and eventually she drifted into a light, uneasy sleep. The next night, it happened again. Knock, knock, knock. Same time. 2:14 a.m. She turned on every light in the house, checked every closet. She even opened the trap door to the crawl space out back, but the flashlight barely penetrated the heavy dark down there. She saw only mud, old boards, some tangled roots. Then on the fourth night, the sound changed. No longer just knocks. This time there was a voice that came from under the bed. It was whispery, broken, like someone who hadn't spoken in years. Elaine? She froze. The sound was too clear to be a trick of her mind. Her ears rang with it. You shouldn't have come here. She clutched Benny to her chest and sat in the corner of the room until dawn. The next morning, she called a local contractor to check the foundation. When he arrived, a bearded man named Darren who smelled like engine oil, he gave her a puzzled look. You live here alone? She nodded. And you went under the house? Just looked. Why? He didn't answer. He went down with his flashlight and tools. She waited in the kitchen. 20 minutes later, she heard him climbing back out. But when she turned to greet him, his face was wrong. All the color drained, his eyes were wide, glassy. What's down there? She asked. He shook his head, dropped the flashlight, got into his truck, and left, tools still lying in the mud. That night, the whispering grew louder, more voices now. She's still down here. She's waiting. She remembers what you did. Elaine clutched her blanket and knife, eyes fixed on the floor. Benny refused to come into the bedroom. He just stood in the hallway, staring through the cracked door. At 2:14 a.m., the knocks came again. Faster, harsher. Knock, 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 knock. Then, silence. She dared to lean over the side of the bed, looking at the wood below, and then she saw it. A hairline crack. From it, something was pushing up. A single fingernail, long and grey, split through the floorboard. Then a hand, thin, wet, gnarled. Another hand joined it, then shoulders rising like someone climbing from a grave. Elaine couldn't scream. Her throat locked. Benny barked once, then yelped, a long, wet sound followed by a dragging noise. She turned to see him being pulled, no, sucked under the boards. His eyes wide, desperate, vanishing into the crack as though the floor had turned to quicksand. Then the floor sealed. Perfect. Seamless. Not a scratch. The hands were gone, and the house went quiet. Elaine fled barefoot into the night, soaking wet, her breath white in the cold. She left everything behind. Now people say the house still stands, just off the road, behind the trees that never stop rustling. New owners always leave quickly. Some don't even make it a week. But everyone says the same thing. The knocking still happens. Always at 2:14 a.m. 3 slow knocks. Then a whisper. One more. And beneath the floorboards, if you put your ear to them, you can hear someone breathing.